Hi, I'm Laura Nelkin. I'm a knitwear designer. I live in upstate New York in the Finger Lakes region, and I want to show you how to do a garter tab for casting on. I typically use a garter tab at the top of a shawl, like on this half pie shawl right here, So Light. A little trick that I do with my garter tab cast-ons is I like to start them with a Judy's Magic cast-on so that I have provisionally cast-on stitches to work across later. When I first learned how to do a garter tab cast-on, I worked them with a closed cast-on and then had to pick up stitches along that cast-on edge. And my friend Kirsten Kapoor, sorry Kirsten, from Through the Loops, taught me how to do this, and I have not looked back since I started using Judy's Magic Cast-On at the beginning. So let's jump right in and I'll show you how to do that. The first thing that you're going to do is grab a circular needle with a flexible cord. And then you're gonna take your working yarn and you're gonna hold your needles parallel to each other and then put your yarn with your tail to the back and your working yarn to the front over the back needle. And then what you're gonna do is bring your back yarn to the front and your front yarn to the back and split them so that back yarn is coming over your thumb and the front yarn is going over your index finger. And now you're gonna alternate and you're gonna bring that back yarn in front of the front needle and over, and the front yarn in between the needles and over the back needle. And then the back yarn in front of the front needle and in between, and then the front yarn in between the needles and over the back yarn. And then finally, you're gonna take that back yarn, go in front of the needle, go in between again. And you'll see that you have 3 stitches on each of those 2 needles. Now, this is quite important. What you're going to do is twist your yarns and kind of take your tail and pull it down and hold your working yarn tightly. And at the same time, turn your needles around so they're parallel to each other, but now that needle that was closest to you is far away from you and your needles are pointing to the right. And now what you're gonna do is pull out that bottom needle, and those stitches right there are your provisional stitches that you're gonna work across at the very end of the tab. And now what I'm going to do is knit across these top 3 stitches. Now you're gonna knit for 5 more rows, and because I like to pretend that I'm a cooking show, I have one of these all ready to go on my needles. So right here, I have worked for 5 more rows on my needles, and now I am ready to finish up my garter tab. So without turning my work after I've worked that 6th row, I'm going to slide my stitches up, and I am going to take my working yarn and pick up 3 stitches, 1 in each garter bump, along the edge of that tab. And if you need to, you can just use your fingers to lift up and over right there. And then you're gonna knit across the 3 stitches that are live from the provisional cast on. And now you have 9 stitches on your needle and you are ready to start working your shawl. I hope you enjoyed this knit tip. I love to learn new techniques for knitting and I love to share them with you. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I am happy to answer any questions and I look forward to knitting with you in the future. Thank you.